when the Mavericks surf contest continues. Just south of San Francisco, the jagged coastline off Pillar Point, challenging for boaters, but paradise for those surfers searching for mountains to ride. Highway 1 at a standstill, over 30,000 people stream the cliffs and beach in Half Moon Bay. Those savvy enough go to the Verizon wireless tent to view the break, which is half a mile out via the live feed.
We got one more semi to run. It just started, so yeah, we're stuck, man. We got this one right.
Clean, contest-grade surf with big waves and minimal wind only occurs a few times each winter at Mavericks. Within the 4-month target period, one day must be singled out for the Mavericks surf contest. Surfers from around the world eagerly await the call from contest director Jeff Clark, after he consults with weather guru Mark Sponsler of StormSurf.com.
So the 12 hit the outer buoy, it actually looks like it's going to be bigger than what I was thinking. 15 to 17 foot Hawaiian, which is 30 to 34 foot faces.
Have huge storms plowing through the North Pacific, scooping up giant waves, pushing lots of wind, and then those waves radiate out from the storms and make it to Mavericks.
Technology, once relegated to oceanographers and sailors, now a staple in every surfer's diet.
Times sure have changed from the days you went outside and stuck a wet finger in the wind. Geraldo Guerra's giving you the shaka, main man from Brazil. 2 riders from San Clemente in orange, Evan Slater, and 21 years old, Greg Long, one of the owners of the 2 10s, perfect 10s we've seen so far, the best score 40 possible. Greg Long, one of the owners. It's Zach Wormout right there, all smiles. Surprising, he came into this contest with a shoulder injury, had some chiropractic work last night. He's feeling pretty good.
And you mentioned the wind picking up a little bit, out and paddling. Oh, Zach Wormout.
Zach absolutely harnesses a beast. Classic Zach Wormout stands there. I'm sure the excitement of that adrenaline rush knocked him off at the end. Look at this drop. A heroic fin placement and board adjustment at the very top. Huge sigh of relief at the bottom. Great absorption and style in those legs. And the whitewater blows him over. That was a huge wave.
The 3rd perfect 10 we have seen so far in this contest. Zach Wormout understands being a surfer at Mavericks takes commitment and a bit of juggling.
Being available to surf at Mavericks is a commitment that involves more than just having the surfboard and the wetsuit. I have a family, a little kid, a job, and so it's a matter of balancing all those things so that things will be okay if I disappear at 4 in the morning and don't show up until 6 or 7 o'clock at night.
Definitely gets a lot of support from White Carolyn and a little inspiration from his son, Adam, 3 years old, but dropping in right now out of San Clemente, California, Greg Long.
Greg won his heat to get here into semi number 2. He is showing he has what it takes to become the champion today. These are big, solid waves. Greg handling like the master. Remember, he's only 21 years old. He won the 2002 South African Big Wave Contest at Dungeons.
And dropping in right now, going down in the orange, Evan Slater, but in the yellow, Anthony Tajnik able to hold on.
Tajnik's throwing some Santa Cruz muscle into Evan. Slater just takes off a little too vert, tries to push his board forward to get on the tail, but buries the nose and bails out. Tajnik going with the classic low shock absorption style. Tajnik is looking tough.
A healthy score, 33 for Anthony Tajnik on that wave.
Out the back, a big one. 3 surfers paddling. In blue, Sean Rhodes. In red, Greg Long. And Sean Rhodes takes a digger. That was a really big fall right at the bottom of a heavy wave. In yellow, it's Tajnik. He bails out. In blue, Sean Rhodes. Looks like he gets to his feet easily, but it also looks like he's too far forward on his board to handle the chops. Greg Long pockets another.
And it is good to see Sean Rhodes above the water. Big score for Greg Long, a 33.5. We talk about the Sharks at Mavericks. Interesting side story. Long had a little run-in in Rocky Point, Hawaii in February.
Just got attacked. It's kind of weird to say, attacked by a shark, but it was definitely, it wasn't just a bump off the board, but I have teeth marks and the marks on my board that proved that he was definitely, biting.
Always a scary thing to think about. Paddling right now, Zach Wormout. Now remember, he had the perfect 10 earlier. That score of 40 will be doubled. Just looking for a decent scoring wave.
And that way, he made it look simple. His philosophy is get into only what he can get out of, and on a bomb, it's Tajnik shared with Garros, and Garros goes right after the tail of Tajnik's board. He could not get off his heels. That looked dangerously close. Garros' forehead coming so close to Anthony Tajnik's tail. Tajnik in yellow with a great drop. Garros just airdrops onto his heels, and he cannot make the corner. Tajnik surviving some big bombs right there until he just gets blown up in the foam. Again, there's a huge airdrop from Garros. What a great landing, but he does get bucked forward and comes perilously close to Tajnik.
And Tajnik, very calm and collective, considering what was coming down on top of him, on top of the wave. A 36.5 for Tajnik on that wave, so looking in good position to move on to the finals for him. And after that hard fall, the Brazilian, Garros,
taking a breather, and in orange, standing up on pure red.
Oh!
Oh, it is Evan Slater. Again, the floor falls out from underneath him. He thought he had a nice epic ride, but this one turns into a devil of a wave. He falls off quick, and he gets absolutely slammed.
and Evan Slater on a different board, damaged his board earlier, and dropping in right now, Tajnik yet again.
The poise right there from Tajnik, an almost flawless execution here today. I have not seen him make a mistake. He is putting it to these waves at Mavericks and the rest of the competition.
The final standings from semi-final number 2, top qualifier moving on, skate park designer Zach Wormout dominating with a perfect 10. Anthony Tajnik, 20 years old, along with Greg Long, 21 years old. Those young riders mixed with the old veterans will battle it out in the final when we return after this.